Another high-value super restoration. In this VIKY, we're restoring this treasure found in the trash. It has a classic Nintendo style from the 1990s. Made by Taiwan's Little Genius, the IQ-901 wireless console. Of course, console fans know very well that this is an 8-bit Famicom clone. From today's perspective, these clones are basically knockoffs. That said, back then, due to Nintendo's limits, supply, price, and region locks, most players worldwide couldn't get their hands on one. That's why regional brands like Little Genius brought the Famicom experience to local families. Historically speaking, Little Genius was likely many people's first gaming entry point. Not to mention, they went further to evolve the Famicom by creating what we're restoring, this wireless version. Back then, even Nintendo didn't have a true wireless console. Now our restoration expert, brother department, has finished the teardown. He's now deep cleaning the shell. After removing the grime, he uses a magic eraser, and isopropyl alcohol for the tight corners. Finally, a plastic protectant is applied. The gray shell is now clean. But the logo faceplate has many visible scratches. These need to be sanded and polished to be fixed to preserve the side logos. Those areas were left untouched. Besides polishing he'll also apply to this panel a surface layer of silica-based protective film. It's said to provide up to 10 years of protection. Next, these buttons and pads go into the ultrasonic cleaner for a deep cleaning. Tianbing. After cleaning, for the scratches on the buttons, we'll use the same sanding and polishing method. Next, we'll handle this dirty PCB. Here, he uses a specialized PCB cleaning foam for a thorough wash. You can see the solder joints all show some degree of damage or aging. For this, normally just resoldering would do, but on this board, here is still a lot of dirt and rust, blocked by the components. It's impossible to clean fully. So he decided to remove every component from the board. During removal, we can see that many components are already damaged, especially those round ceramic capacitors. They crumble when gripped after heating. As for this, besides aging, 90s ceramic capacitors have poor heat and impact resistance. They're quite mediocre. So to be safe, these capacitors and resistors will all be replaced. After removing everything, we'll use desoldering wick to remove all leftover solder, clean it up. Next, we're doing more than a simple wash. We need to take 10 years of accumulated dirt and rust and deep clean the board. These two cleaners, white foam lifts the dirt, while black carbon cleaner strips the oxidation. Finally, use a degreaser. Then, this board will regain its glory. This is the final result. What do you think? Next, I use UV solder mask to repair the board scars. This isn't just for looks, but to restore the PCBs Original functions. The three it should have. Insulation, protection, stability. It's a structural repair. Next to handle is this shielded component. It's a core part for wireless play. The RF modulator and transmitter. The RF modulator and transmitter. After testing, no major issues. It just needs cleaning. As for the shield, it has clear oxidation. After removing rust, I'll replate it with nickel. Once that's done, I'll solder the shield back into place. Then the wireless module will be finished. As for the pin rust, I'll sand them down and polish them. After processing, like this power IC, it's now very shiny. Audio, power, antenna ports, FTX, are all disassembled for their metal and plastic parts. Handle it accordingly. First, for the metal parts, use rust remover first for a 24-hour treatment. Then use barrel polishing to also grind away large scratches on the parts. After barrel polishing, use a hard fiber wheel to buff the parts and restore their smooth surface. Finally, nickel plating provides protection. You might wonder why the previous solution was blue. Is there a difference? Actually, in terms of results, there isn't much difference. What determines the color is the nickel chloride content. More nickel chloride means a greener color. So the blue one likely uses a low nickel formula. This blue as a high quality solution, besides standard brighteners, likely contains agents to improve performance. After assembling the treated parts, next up is this 60-pin cartridge slot. No structural issues here, just years of oxidation and dirt. That might cause poor contact. So he will carefully clean and polish it. Finally, use ultrasonic cleaning to remove leftover wax. Next, look at this warped and deformed controller port too. For this part, he chose to use 3D printing to replicate it. As long as the shape is right and the pins are set correctly, now it can directly replace this badly deformed part. Comparing the new and old. Next, take these cleaned pins and reinstall them one by one. The controller port is now fixed. Now, all parts on this motherboard have been processed. We can now move to the final assembly. While assembling, let's talk about this console's wireless tech. The main goal of this tech was to remove the controller cable. The way this ZTATSI does it is different from modern controllers and wireless protocols. It doesn't make the controller communicate wirelessly with the console. Instead, it integrates the controller, the console, and the whole system into a single unit. Then, it takes the final via KY and audio signals and transmits them via RF. On the television side, you just use an antenna to receive the game signal. But this tech is prone to interference. For games needing real-time feedback, the cons outweigh the pros. That's why big brands like Nintendo didn't use this solution. It wasn't until the Sony PS2 that the wireless issue was truly solved. Back to the VIKY. I am using a jumper wire To fix the lifted pad. After finishing the motherboard, I need to install the shell, batteries, and the 2 original battery covers I finally tracked down. Finally, apply the stickers. This ZTXI, made in the 1990s, the IQ Negative 901 wireless console, is officially restored. Let's take a look at the before and after. I also restored what came with the console, controller and a cartridge. After buying the matching antenna, it's time for the final demo. Interference. The console plays smoothly. That's all for this VITY. Thanks for watching. Time flies when you are having fun. It's time to say goodbye. Thanks again for visiting Max's Restoration. Bye bye.